7:05, Kalihi-Pālama Neighborhood Board is in session. We'll start with city monthly reports with Honolulu Fire Department. You can sit like, both straight.
Here.
Yeah.
By fire station. The stats for over with 3 structured fires, 2 wildland, 5 loose ends fires, 10 activated alarms, 213 medical, 1 auto accident with pedestrian, 12 accidents, and 2 hazmat incidents. Our safety tip for this month has to do with cooking fires. Cooking is a leading cause of all fires that sell family and your neighborhood by practicing these prevention tips. Stay in the kitchen while you're cooking, do not leave the cooking unattended. If you must leave the kitchen, turn off the stove. Keep items such as oven mitts, wood utensils, towels away from the stove top, even when the stove is off. And restore items on the stove top and inside the oven. Keep a lid nearby to smother small grease fires. Smother fire by sliding a lid over the pan and turning the oven. Only plug in one heat producing appliance such as coffee maker. Bring a 3-foot child and free zone around the cooking area. That's it.
Any questions from the board? Any questions?
We're at limits of 1 coming. Yeah.
Any questions from the board?
Real quick, so when it comes to some of the fires, because it is the holiday season, people are trying to like deep fry turkeys and things like that. What advice would you give, people that are trying to do that, or their first time?
But deep fried turkeys?
Because I mean, I'm not saying like recipes. I'm saying in terms of what you guys seen, in terms of people doing it wrong. Or could they this?
Yeah, I would definitely stick to these tips. And I know special precautions when it comes to deep fried turkeys. And I would read up on that. The cook outside is the main one. Don't overfill the oil because the turkey displaces the oil, and that's where the fire starts from. Yeah. But definitely holiday season. We come across.
The dry pat.
Yeah, make sure it's not frozen.
Yeah, and honestly, other methods I prefer.
Any other questions? Any questions online?
No.
Good. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And we'll move on to Honolulu Police Department District 1.
Hello, Lieutenant James Farrell, District 1, HPD. The stats for October 2024 for your guys' area. Motor vehicle theft, we had 3. Last month was 1, or the month prior, September, was 1. Burglary cases 2, down from 1 the prior month. Theft cases 9, up from 5 the prior month. UMV, which is just breaking into a vehicle, that was 0 cases reported, down from 2 the prior month. Assaults 3, 2 the prior month. Sex assault, both months is 0. Graffiti cases, both months are 0. Drug cases was 1, down from 2 the prior month. And for the month of October, the total calls for service to the police was 300 calls, and that's down from 353 the prior month in the area. And just our safety tip for you guys for the month is as we're getting into the holiday shopping season, just be aware of your surroundings when you're out going shopping. Park in well-lit areas. Be aware. Don't overload yourself. Lock up your vehicle. A lot of it's all common sense, but people forget these type of things, and that's how they have problems. Just lock your vehicle. Don't leave a lot of valuables and the things that you're buying obvious in the car if you have to make multiple stops. People sometimes are watching the parking lots and they see you load a bunch of things in, lock the car and leave, then they'll go break into the car. So if you need to leave things in there, try and do it before you get to that destination, secure it in the trunk. When you get to a destination, have the interior clear, get out, go do your shopping, come back with whatever you buy, get in the vehicle and be on your way. Don't leave a lot of targets of opportunity in the vehicle to make it tempting for folks that are up to no good. And that's our tip for the month. So you have a safe and uneventful shopping season.
Hi, Lieutenant. Could you please repeat your name for the record?
James Farrell, like Will Ferrell, the actor.
Thank you so much. Any questions from the board? Any questions from the community?
No.
Hearing none, thank you so much. Stay
Okay,
safe.
thank you.
Thank you. Now we're moving along to HPD District 5.
Hi, good evening, everyone. Can you hear me clearly?
Yes.
This is Lieutenant Creighton Hatiko with District 5. I'm one of the nighttime commanders here. Let me give you the stats for the month of October. There were 9 aggravated assaults reported, 21 auto thefts, 13 burglaries, 3 robberies, 4 sex assaults, 9 simple assaults, 42 basic thefts reported, and 17 thefts from vehicles. Total calls for service for this month of October is 2,846 calls for service. The numbers might seem a little alarming if you take them face value, but I'd like to remind everyone that this particular board, it encompasses 9 separate beats that we patrol, and it's a very condensed amount of people in that area, including a number of our public housing areas. To echo Lieutenant Farrell's suggestion, just to add on, as you guys are going through this holiday season, everyone is going to be kind of have their attention split because everyone's multitasking and trying to do a lot of things. So as you guys are moving about your day, especially when you guys are in parking lots for shopping malls or supermarkets, be aware of your surroundings in terms of vehicles operating around you because they're also going to be multitasking. And I hate for anyone to get into any kind of get injured from being hit by a vehicle or stepping out into a roadway without paying attention, that sort of thing. And then I'll open up to any questions or concerns.
Any questions from the board?
Out of those numbers of calls, do you guys count police non-emergency calls?
For these, yeah, total calls for service includes the non-emergency type and non-criminal type.
Evelyn?
Hi, Evelyn Cullen. Was there an issue in regards to 911? Because several times I attempted to call, but ended up just hanging up and pressing 2.
When you called, ma'am, was there any answer at all?
There was a pickup, but I said it was not. And I think it was like 20 minutes I waited, so I just hung up. And when they called me back, I pressed number 2 to disregard my call, just call back at a later time.
Other than the day that they had the outage, and for the outage, we still have no idea what caused that. So they're still trying to figure that out, if it was on the cellular side or if it's something that happened with our systems. But unfortunately, like a 20-minute wait time for non-emergency calls, I've heard of that happening sometimes. It'll depend on the time of day, and we really cannot, we don't want it to be like that. But usually when you call 911 and the first thing they ask is emergency or non-emergency. When you say emergency, it immediately gets dealt with. But if it's a non-emergency, sometimes there is a bit of a wait. But they do make sure to try and call you back. But I apologize for that.
Not at all.
And I encourage you not to be discouraged by it. That's just the way the system is set up right now. But as much as possible, we try to address everything that comes in.
Thank you. Okay, we have Eric.
Oh, thank you. Hi, Eric Irwin, board member.
Hi,
Can you hear
sir.
me?
Yeah, I can
Oh,
hear you
okay.
fine.
So, my question is, I live kind of by KPT, and we heard the 2 incidents where gunshots, and there were 2 incidents where there were either casualties or people wounded. And then maybe about 6 days ago, again, we heard gunshots, about 8 gunshots, 10:30. And in my mind, and I think I know the answer, I just want to confirm, and is one, should I have called, and even with the limited information? And then the second part is, I know the general causes of, the increase. I've lived in that area for a while, and this is the first time I've heard gunshots, and much less 3 times in 1 year.
Mhm.
And is there anything that's, I know it's hard, but is there anything that's being done to maybe, try to curtail this or anything? And those are my two questions.
Oh, no problem, sir. Regarding calling, always call anytime you hear, because what that helps us do is it helps us kind of triangulate where the gunshots are coming from. Because we try, the more calls we get in, it helps us to figure out where it's coming from and also like maybe who might be involved. So even if you feel like it's just you heard, that's fine. Call in and let us know so that we have that bit of information. Regarding, we've been saturating the public housings basically. And going in, making checks of all the public areas, doing enforcement, and we're trying to curtail this kind of activity. I know it's very alarming, to actually hear it, yourself when you live nearby. It's alarming for everybody, including the residents of the housing itself. So we are taking it seriously. Our our plainclothes units are also coming in from other districts to assist us with this. So it's something that we are taking very seriously. And that's what we're doing basically now. It's kind of saturating it right now.
Thank you for that answer. And I know it's so hard and I appreciate it. And it's probably scary for you guys too, as well. So, I mean, I understand it and thank you for the update. It makes me feel a little bit better and I appreciate
No,
the
no
work.
problem, sir. No problem. We are out there.
Anybody else? Last one on the board.
Sorry. May I request HPD presence at 8:30 on Beckley Street? Part of those service calls are me, probably. I'm calling every day to get the kids out to school. It would be helpful after 8:30 specifically, because the kids linger. I don't care if they make TikToks, whatever, but they are pee loud, they leave trash everywhere. So it'd be nice to get them out. Thank you.
I'm sorry, but just the recording, I'm not getting it's not coming in clear. I got Beckley. Where exactly on Beckley?
Just Beckley Street in general, the Kalihi-Pālama Park. The kids linger right across the basketball court, and that's where I live. And
Okay.
so, yeah, I don't mind if they're, dancing around. They just make TikToks, but they leave trash all the time. So it'd be nice from 8:30 till about 9:30. It's true and CC.
This is in the morning prior, or they're supposed to be in school, but they're kind of doing the deal.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank
Okay,
you.
I'll let the daytime LT know so that they'll make checks for you, man.
For sure.
Any other questions?
Come up, please, she's here. Yeah.
I was told to come to this meeting from Action Line because I've been having problems
What's your name?
in my neighborhood where I live, Wynage.
Sorry, don't mean to interrupt, but for the record, we need your first and last name.
And
Last name.
Kawahara.
Oh, all right.
And behind me is Chem Housing. So there's a city public access right there. Every day, this bunch of boys, different type of boys, maybe 3 different groups, keep coming over, smoking, either smoking pakalolo, making noise. I've been calling, and because it's a non-emergency, sometimes it's busy. So it takes a while. And then before the cops come, sometimes they're gone already. But this keeps happening. And it's like a whole year already has gone where they keep smoking and I cannot take that smell. I don't know what to do because they keep coming back. Police not there. Police come. They run away. What do we do?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I wish I had a clearer answer for you, but I want you to know that we are, like I explained to the gentleman earlier, we are trying to saturate and make checks without you guys having to call. So the officers are trying to be there more present. Is there a specific time that is happening, ma'am?
For morning. School hours is maybe about 3, 4 o'clock. Goes on to night. Sometimes 1 in the morning, they're there making noise.
Okay. Okay, so it's kind of consistent though. I mean, this is on the grounds or this is next to the property?
It's on the grounds, the public access,
Okay, public
that's
access.
between our house and camp housing. So what happened was, I guess, when they redid camp housing, they made a cinder block wall, cement wall.
Yeah.
And because they cannot see, they hide there to do whatever they want to do.
Okay, I'll specify to my guys and to the day guys as well that this is going on. They're trying to have a kind of an idea of where the kids flow to when they run. So for a lot of the open areas inside, they do know where the guys tend to run to, and so they kind of cut them off at the pass. But I'll let them know that this is also, they're also congregating on the public access as well. So we'll start trying focusing on that. But I encourage you to still continue to call.
Yeah, 'cause like yesterday, I called 3 times.
Mhm.
And this was like within half an hour, 1 hour, 3
Okay.
times.
Was this,
And
was,
today I
yesterday
called
you called during the daytime or nighttime?
afternoon.
Afternoon. Okay, okay. So I'll reiterate that with the daytime LT as well, ma'am.
What time in the afternoon?
Around
4.
Okay, around 3 to 4.
Okay.
Do you suggest that she calls 911 as emergency or instead of non-emergency to get faster response?
No, I don't want it to misrepresent it, but it's not all the priority 2 calls, the ones that are non-emergency, take 20 minutes. A lot of times it gets to when you guys call and they tell you guys that there's a delay, it's because the operators and there's less than 10 working at any time. They're on calls currently. So it usually doesn't take that long to get a call back, but it does happen. But so yeah, I suggest you guys still want to be honest when you guys call in and not, because we do have when people report that there's a gun and there's no gun, and we don't want that kind of situation happening as well. But yeah. So yeah, I still suggest you call in and just try and what it does also is when the communications division notices that there's a number of calls coming from the same area, it bumps it up in their priority as well. So that also happens.
Hi, Evelyn Cullen again. I think this is a more concerted, not only with HPD, but also with HBHA, the state agency, as well as the DOE, the schools, that's neighboring her problem area. So if it was more of an effort that everybody involved, rather than just one, maybe that could help remedy the problem even quicker. Because
Yeah.
if they tend to be repeat visitors of that specific spot, they have to have some sort of vested interest really nearby, say
Yeah,
maybe in the
yeah.
public housing, right? So if
Mhm.
HHA can also have their security come and man that area as well, include that area part of their route. So it's not only on one party, but also on another party, which also highlights HBHA is aware of this specific tenant. And maybe they have to somehow keep them accountable as well. And
Mhm,
have some sort of consequences that's attached to if you continue to do this unwanted, undesirable behavior. So that's just my 2 cents.
Thank you for bringing that up, but we are working with our partners in the private security for the different locations. And I didn't consider the DOE angle, but I know that our chiefs are also trying to find other partners in this trying to get progress on this issue.
First, question regarding about like noise complaints. So in August Street and around North School Street and around that intersection, we've been experiencing a lot of noise complaints. And usually if someone calls 911, that's definitely me. So I'm just curious, when is the best time to call 911 about a noise complaint? Like if it escalates or if it de-escalates?
It's just one thing for anything, anything that we can cite for, we have to witness. So if you call after the fact and the noise is already done, it's kind of, it doesn't help us. It doesn't help you either. So just call when it's occurring, and if we can get an officer there to witness it, then we can start the ball rolling towards being able to cite the person making the noise. What kind of noises you guys talking about? Loud
So
vehicles?
been experiencing, and I do call when it's occurring.
Mm-hmm.
Usually it's screaming, car, making noise while someone's screaming. One time there was like a fight on the street, and there was like 3 boys and 1 girl. And then one of the guys was like holding their sister and just being like, "Bro, don't touch my girl," even though that's her sister. And then next thing you know, like 10 guys start pulling up. So yeah.
Yeah, so just continue to call, and we'll get there as soon as we can. And for those types of things where it's primarily it's a crime occurring and it's not the actual noise that's the issue. Those ones, like if it's an actual fight in the street, that's not considered a priority 2. That's considered a priority 1. So you let them know it is an emergency, that assault is occurring, and it gets routed appropriately.
And just one last question. Do you guys
Sure.
have any needs regarding like mediation on de-escalation before arrest?
Sorry. There used to be something called a community-based where it was a mediation program, but I haven't heard anything about it for a while now. But if you give me a chance to the next meeting, I'll try to see if we do have something in place for that. There hasn't been too much emphasis on it because primarily before, when it was active, it was community driven. So it was a group of community members would do the mediation. But I'll try and get a definitive answer for you by the next meeting.
Any other questions from the board or community? Hearing none, thank you so much, officer.
No problem. You guys have a good evening.
Stay safe. Board of Water Supply, Iris.
Hi, good evening. Sorry I can't be there tonight. Went traveling, so I didn't want to come over. I just have the main breaks. There was 3 in the month of October, on October 4th near 1366 Dillingham. Then on October 13th near 1208 Halona Place. And on October 18th near 1514 Dillingham Boulevard. And my one general announcement is we're doing some BWS recruitment. So shape your future and become a part of a dynamic and well-run city organization that we protect Oahu's precious water resources. We promote growth as an employee and support your work-life balance. So we're looking to fill permanent full-time positions in engineering, information technology, customer care, and administrative support. We also do have contract positions. So go to the boardofwatersupply.com/jobs/featured #BWS. So yeah, come join the Board of Water Supply and become a water protector. That's my quick announcement.
Thank you so much, Iris. Any questions from the board? Any questions from the community? Please come to the front. State your first name.
State your first name and last name.
Thank you.
Dana, yeah, I'm actually, I brought this up at the last meeting with Valley. And I didn't hear a response, so I was gonna ask her about the museum. When that's gonna be open.
The museum. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry. Sorry, I can barely hear you. Is that you're asking about the museum question from a last meeting? If
Yeah,
it's-
when open or when the hours and stuff like that.
Yes, sorry, I didn't get a reply, and if I did, sorry, it might have been lost in my email. I will, can you wait till January's meeting, or would you
You
like
can
me to
email it
call
to
you?
me.
I'll mail it out to you.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll do that.
Can I
Thanks.
have a look?
Thanks for the reminder.
Talks about.
It's King and Off Daily. They work on the corner. The corner for
Yeah.
I don't know how many years. and it's totally a museum.
Museum.
I don't know. It's open to the public.
Not yet.
King and Half Tailing, it's like the board.
My house started with this.
It's our Kalihi pump station. Even I haven't been there, so yeah, I'd like to find that out myself.
People who are listening in and this will be played, they want to have a point of,
Reference.
there you go.
It's diagonally across from Farrington's.
Yeah. And then block the road off.
Here.
Mm.
And it
Thank
says-
Yeah, Iris, you can just email me. Iris.
Will do. Okay, thanks, Cher. Thanks for the question.
Okay, so moving forward, Authority of Rapid Transit, Service of Wallace.
Marisa.
Hi,
Go ahead,
hi,
Marissa.
can you hear me?
Yes, go ahead.
Hi, I'm Gabby Camacho. I'm going to be speaking on behalf of Heart today.
Okay,
So hello, Chair Ibanez, board members, and community members. With me this evening is Tara Kaneshiro from our contractor Non-Inc. with CCUR 4, and Patrick Watson from our contractor Frank V. Coluccio Construction for CCUR 3. I have a short update for our CCUR 4 electrical work. So our contractor HMS has been doing anchor, pole, and frame installation along the project. This week they were working near HCC and Kalihi Street. So this work requires a single lane closure of the north or southbound lanes during daytime as needed. So we'll basically close the lane closest to the work and keep the lane next to it open for traffic. The work enclosures are quite quick and are usually 1 day per activity and are between the hours of 8 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. This work has minimal impact to the surrounding areas. We try to keep most of the equipment and work within the coned areas. Other than that, for CCUR 3 and 4 utilities relocations, work is ongoing along Kamehameha Highway and Dillingham Boulevard and downtown, allowing for future construction of columns, guideways, and stations. The CCUR 3 downtown utility relocation is on track to be completed during first quarter of 2025, and CCUR 4 Dillingham utility work is expected to be completed by early 2026, with guideway and station construction starting summer 2025. So that concludes my update. If you would like to get in contact with us at Heart, you can email us at info@honolulutransit.org or call the 24-hour Heart Project hotline at 808-566-2299. Thank you for allowing me to provide the updates on our project, and I'd like to open the floor for any questions.
I do. So there are various schools like HCC, there's also an elementary school. As the construction gets heavier and the noise, the debris, things, particulates go into the air. So I want to make sure that Keiki and for those in the school, in and around the school, students, faculty, are not affected or that kind of debris is mitigated. So what I'm saying is like for the cafeterias, if there can be air conditioning for you folks to invest in such things. I believe I had mentioned this, 8 years ago. So we're going back in time. I want to make sure that that is revisited, especially for food sanitation, and for the classrooms, for the children, the Keiki, and for the adults at HCC, for their health to be protected. So please take a look into that. Any questions from the board? Evelyn?
Hi, did you say you're from NON? Hi, Evelyn Cullen. Did you say you were from NON as well, or you're speaking on their behalf?
Hi, I'm from Heart. I'm a part of the public involvement team. We have Representative Tara from NON today as well.
Okay, I'm glad she's here because my question as a community member is like, how did NON inherit so many properties along the rail line? How did they get first dibs in buying up all of those properties? And then also, I guess this is a city thing, but What about vehicle tax? Can we get some sort of relief? We live in the area and our vehicle is like transversing off-road type conditions. So I'm looking forward to getting some sort of vehicle tax relief in that respect. If it was afforded to the property owners in that area, or that to the people as well in the area. That's all. But Nan's question is real important to me because I see Nan is like eating up Kalihi.
Yeah, thank you for your question. I really can't speak on behalf of Non for any of their property if they are, buying up property in Kalihi. Yeah.
Any other questions from the board? Any questions from the community? Go ahead and sit down and please state your first and last name for the record.
My name is Thomas Beck. I'm talking in regards to the fact that they're going to build part of the structure in the right away that's going electric. That's a high power line. Why, even though they're encroaching in Hawaiian Electric's right of way, they're not allowing Hawaiian Electric to use the structure itself. Possibility of.
I'm sorry, you're cutting in and out. It's very hard to understand you.
Project it a little bit more.
The structure that's going to be built, why are they not allowing Hawaiian Electric to use part of that structure to attach the higher power lines? So the only reason I'm saying this is because for Hawaiian Electric to put that same lines underground is going to be talking about over 100 million, maybe 200 billion. Hawaiian Electric is in dire financial straits. Everybody knows that. I think they'll be able to save a lot of money by allowing them to use it. I'm not sure structurally, engineering wise, whether that's possible. Do you know anything about that?
So I'm getting from your question why we are not allowing Hawaiian Electric, I'm sorry, it's very hard to hear you, to use an area where we're building a structure?
To attach the high-powered electrical lines that they have to move, that's in their right away right now, that since they realign structure of the rail, why they're not going to allow Hawaiian Electric to use all of that structure to use for their high-powered lines.
So I don't want to misspeak. Mhm. Go ahead. Okay, I don't want to misspeak on this. I can confirm with somebody from the board later today or tomorrow on your question, and then I can come back with an answer next month.
I got a real
If
quick
that's
one again.
Go ahead, Evelyn.
Hi, so recently had the flood map redone for Oahu, and the rail in some areas fall in that jurisdiction, meaning they're being erected in flood zones. Does it not, so the insurance that's being mandated for property owners that fall within that new flood map zone, does it not apply to the city, or city just has a right of way? They have to have certain areas insured, because I'm sure they should have known better when they had mapped out this rail system coming through Oahu, that a lot of the areas like Mapuna Puna, on certain days you can see it, there's a huge lake. And on a lot of properties in that area, which belongs to DHHL, and they're having a hard time trying to lease the land simply because of it. And so I'm thinking that rail is coming right through on that same area as well. And the airport in and of itself is trying to expand in that area. So I just see that entire place as being problematic for the rail. And if we have to pay, if anything happens in terms of insurance, or is part or the rail not have to abide like everybody else in terms of having insurance. That's all. Take that back, and you can share next time we see each other. Thank you.
Okay, I'll take your question. Thank you.
Gabby, I do have a question real quick for the real part as it comes through for the Evilay area, as of which is it possible for it to be affecting IHS and for Salvation Army? Do you foresee that happening? And if so, where would they possibly move? I don't know if you can answer that question now, or if you want to come back later in January with that answer.
Yeah, we've been doing construction in front of IHS and Salvation Army for a while. I know that our public involvement teams constantly keep in contact with them, take back any, complaints or concerns that they have. But I do know that we keep in constant contact with them. I haven't heard any plans for them that they expressed moving, but yeah, we do constantly keep in contact with them.
Okay, I just want to make sure that the service providers and as such are intact, and if so, the community knows about it in advance of where to get such services if need be. Any questions from the community? Any further? Hearing none, thank you so much, Gabby. Have a good evening.
Thank you.
Moving on to board business, filling of vacancies, 2 at-large seats. Anybody interested?
Nominate Tom back.
You gotta ask him for stuff.
No, you ask him first.
Ask him.
You gotta ask him stuff.
Because it's just.
For me now.
Thank you, but.
We can carpool, I think.
No volunteers. For the next one.
So hearing none, thank you so much for moving along. So the approval of minutes, Wednesday, October 16, 2024.
So moved. Motion that we approve the minutes.
Any corrections?
Any corrections? Hearing no. And Ken has moved, David second. Okay, approval of minutes for October 16th. Thank you so much. C, resolution urging legislature to adopt good government reforms. Faris, did you want to speak on that?
So this resolution is basically, as said, adopting good government reforms. So that includes, in terms of the campaign funding, basically fully funding the campaign spending commission, so making sure that we can have a public financing option. So we put a good portion of our money into all the campaigns, and then each campaign basically gets like a good amount of funding to get them a head start. This is a good start for many campaigns that are not incumbents or may be considered as not having a chance. It at least gives them like a little bit of money and a little bit of grace. Another one is like prohibiting campaign contributions from officers, owners, and senior staff of government contractors and person of committee and family members. Transferring campaign money to other campaigns, and then making sure that they enact in voter registration by setting up opt-out system. So if you don't want to vote, you can just opt out. So you can basically get as much participation. Especially since I think this year, if I remember, this election turnout has been higher than usual, but like definitely not as up to par in 2020, which 2020 was the highest turnout ever since 1990s, around that area. And then if we do it after the next election, 2022, it was at a low turnout again. So putting that like automatic voter registration gives people the incentive of, oh, I will vote, I want to vote. And the only reason you don't want to vote is, not the only reason, but the only way you don't want to vote is if you just put it down.
Term limits on certain positions.
On this resolution, I don't see anything about it.
That resolution was the one that you guys tabled because not everybody reviewed it. Yeah, so everybody had reviewed it.
That resolution, which I say we introduced in a form of amendments, but it's like try and equate power, if that makes sense. So for example, if any bills that do not create or expend funds, they shouldn't be referred to finance and reason, which are the two biggest committees that have like such huge power control regarding like bills. And we all know that if you been around with the system of the state. Pretty much majority of those guys in finance or ways of being so.
Sure. Any questions from the board for discussion? Solution?
Yeah, I'm just as Eric Irwin. And I'm still hesitant about the skipping over the ways and means and all that. So I mean, that's my I mean, and also honestly, I haven't had time to dig into it. I do apologize. So if anything, I probably would abstain if it goes to vote, if possible. Just because of my lack of knowledge, but I also do have concerns about that other portion I mentioned.
Good enough, fair enough. Are we ready for a vote?
Somebody has to move it.
Second? Seconds?
This thing. Or you moving it? You second?
Anybody second?
She second.
No, I'm asking if somebody second.
Second.
Okay,
I'll hold the table.
ready to vote?
Then I have to do this because I know he's abstaining, so I'm gonna. Okay, Colin,
Say it out loud for record.
Yes.
Diosa, Farm,
Yes.
Guerrero, Irwin.
Abstain.
Pintor,
Into our eye.
Ohano,
Oh, yes.
Lima,
Abstain?
Jimenez,
Yes.
4, 6, 7. Okay. 7 ayes, 0 noes, 2 abstain. Got the quorum, 7 adopted.
Thank you so much. Congrats. Presentation, moving on. American Red Cross will be in February. Moving forward with the sewer rate increase. Services.
Is there none? No.
So we're gonna move on. We're gonna move on to residents' community concerns, 3 minutes each. Anybody from the community?
No concerns?
Moving forward, city elected officials, Mayor Rick Blangiardi, representative, Deputy Director Stephen Courtney.
Can you hear me fine?
Yes.
Okay, great. Yeah, good evening to Kalihi-Pālama board members and residents. My name is Stephen Courtney, the mayor's representative and deputy director for the Department of Information Technology. I will start with highlights from the mayor's newsletter. The link can be found in the chat. Securing Oahu's sewer system into the future, roughly $10 billion in upgrades and improvements are needed for Oahu's wastewater system through 2040, almost as much as the total price tag of Honolulu's rail transit system. A link to a 2-page flyer on the sewer fee increase is in the chat. The mayor celebrated Pride Month in Honolulu. This included the raising of the Pride flag and the unveiling of the Pride Tree of Honolulu on October 1st. On October 19th, Mayor Blangiardi led a large city and county Honolulu contingent along with the city's new Rainbow Employee Resource Group in the Pride Parade through Waikiki. The Federal Emergency Management has released preliminary updates to Oahu's flood insurance rate maps. The updated maps mean that some properties that were previously outside of the flood zones may now be listed within the high-risk zones known as special flood hazard areas for the first time. Departmental issues follow. I just have one item. Chairman Ibanez requested an update on the maintenance of the Kalihi-Pālama Canal in regards to the overgrowth from Hoff-Tailing Street to H1. Unfortunately, I do not have an update on this tonight. Hopefully I'll have better news next month. And of course, if you have any issues with the city, use Honolulu 301 to report the issue. And hnl.info is your one-stop shop for updates from the city. This concludes the mayor's report. Thank you. Any questions?
I do, Stephen. Next month, we're in recess, so I won't be able to get any feedback on the overgrowth in the Kapalama Canal. It was supposed to have been worked on in October last month. Now we're headed, yeah, so now we're heading into December, so it's been a while. I think it's been more than a year since it's been addressed. So I'm pleased, if somebody can please get to that. What I'm fearing is that there's a storm or something that happens. And it's gonna be a mess. So if you can please prevent that from happening and people's properties getting damaged because of a flood that's gonna occur and water hits over the banks or whatnot, it's just really overgrown.
Yes, in fact, I've been up there, I did see it, and I actually met with the deputy for DFM to remind them of that issue. So again, I will try to get better news next month.
January, because we're in recess next month. Okay, Evelyn?
Hi, Evelyn Cullen. It's on highlights in newsletter, right on the front page in regards to the sewer system. I'm like about 1.5 miles away from that and the increase. So I'm just putting it out here so that you can take it back to the mayor, and then all the other city officials are probably listening in. So I would expect for some sort of response from them as well as our visitors that's coming in to share on the sewer increase or proposed increase. I also have an easement on my property and I asked to have maybe a swap using my property. I don't want to have to pay 124% increase that's proposed. It's really really big burden, financial burden for myself. And I'm not only speaking for myself, but for my community. And I think my Oahu, people who reside on Oahu at large. This is beyond what we can afford to pay. So maybe you can take that back to my Our governor, on the other hand, supports the middle class and everyday people like myself in requesting that not take place or at a lesser request. I know several months ago I had shared with you that I wanted sewer to participate. I had some pushback and said that they won't be able to come and attend our board meeting, and then all of a sudden in the news this comes out, and then they're more than willing to participate at our board meeting. So please take that back. I'm a concerned citizen that this is way beyond what I can afford. Thank you.
Okay, yes, I will. And I will also ask that they try to attend this neighborhood board meeting as well, because I do see the increase is substantial.
Thanks, Stephen.
Any other questions from the board? Any questions from the community? Hearing none, thank you so much, Stephen. I'll see you in the next one.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, and we're moving along to Council Member Rainey Cordero.
Hi, good evening, everyone. Can you guys hear me fine?
Yes.
Okay, hi. This is Dee Hayashida reporting for Councilmember Cordero. Hard copies of her report were distributed, and I have also pasted the link in the chat box. So some of the things to highlight tonight are on page 1, the calendar of events for the monthly committee meetings, as well as the Kapolei and Honolulu Hale City Lights opening nights and parade. Also on page 1, continuing on to page 2, you'll find the legislative updates on bills and resolutions. On the top of page 3, Councilmember Cordero's staff joined Kamehameha School's 5th graders to toss Genki balls into the Kapalama Drainage Canal, which aims to restore the canal's natural ecosystem. And also on page 3, oh yeah, this is a really good one. Our office is proud to report that Councilmember Cordero has been honored by the National Foundation for Women Legislators in Atlanta, Georgia, where she was awarded the prestigious Women of Excellence Award. This award recognizes outstanding women leaders who have demonstrated exceptional dedication to public service, championed important causes, and paved the way for more women to serve in elective office across the nation. Councilmember Cordero was also honored at the National League of Cities ceremony in Tampa, Florida, with the prestigious Centennial Under 40 Impact Award. This award, which is part of the NLC Centennial Year Initiative, recognizes the exceptional achievements of elected officials under the age of 40 who are making a significant impact in their communities. We are incredibly proud of her and can't think of anyone more deserving of these rewards. Did a
Absolutely,
good
yeah.
job.
Go,
Yeah.
yep, absolutely.
And then moving on to page 4, highlights the Halloween trunk or treat and costume contest, which was held at Kalakaua District Park on October 22nd, and also information about the H1 eastbound improvement, specifically the Ola Lane to Likelike Highway off-ramp. Moving on to page 5, this year marks the 40th anniversary of Honolulu City Lights. The 55-foot Cook pine tree has already been installed at Honolulu Hale. There will be brand new displays, 250 feet of lighted tunnels, 50 illuminated trees throughout the grounds, keiki train rides, and more. Opening night is scheduled for Saturday, December 7th. And also highlights the Kapolei City Light celebration featuring a schedule of live entertainment and events set to begin on November 30th. Councilmember Cordero will probably be representing District 7 as a marcher in the parade. This concludes my report. If you have any questions, I'll do my best to address them now or take them back to
Questions
the
from the
team
board?
for follow-up.
No questions
I'm
from the
sorry.
board?
I just, hi, I'm here. I just wanted to congratulate Radiant. She's not one to toot her horn, so for you to share that here, I really thinks that she exemplifies everything that she had received in terms of the awards and recognition brought. So let her know I said that. Thank you.
I will. Thank you.
Same here. Same here. Congrats on the award, for Cordero. And I also wanted to thank the office for all the work you've done over the years. Honolulu, she definitely would not have won the award without y'all.
I will let her know. Thank you.
Any other questions from the board? Any questions from the community? Hearing none, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Happy holidays to you and your office.
You too. Thank you.
Thank you. Moving along to Councilmember Tyler Dos Santos Town.
I don't see, I don't have nobody.
Okay. Community updates, U.S. Army Garrison, Hawaii Military Report, Selena.
I don't see Selena. Oh, there she is. Okay.
Good evening, Chair, members of the board, members of the community. My name is Selena Jankowski. I'm with the Public Affairs Office with U.S. Army Garrison, Hawaii. I reported on our very last job fair of the year, which happened November 19th, and that was at AMR. And I reported it last month, but people can still apply if they're still looking for work at www.himwr.com. Same kind of privileges and stuff would be available if you apply online. You don't necessarily have to come in. So there's always opportunities out there. We're still training. I believe next month there's going to be a lesser amount of training, but most of the training is happening in East Range and Schofield Barracks. And on lighter notes, there's going to be the Waikiki Holiday Parade that's happening Friday, November 29th at 7 p.m. It's commemorating Pearl Harbor and honoring survivors and veterans. There's going to be local Hawaiian bands, marching bands from the mainland, and pretty much every single military marching band is going to be performing. And then this year marks the 83rd anniversary of the National Pearl Harbor Remembrance Day commemoration. It's open to the public at the Pearl Harbor Visitor Center. Ceremony begins at 7:45 a.m. for anyone who's interested in attending. But if you can't make it that early, there's also a public ceremony that's going to be held at Fort DeRussy and parade, and the events starts at 4 in the afternoon and runs till about 8 p.m.
Nice. Thank you so much. Any questions from the board? Questions from the community? Thank you so much, Selena. Happy holidays to you.
Happy holidays.
Moving on to schools. Community updates from schools?
Yeah.
No, okay.
But
State elected officials, start with Senator Carl Rhodes.
All right. Good afternoon, or excuse me. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and members of the board. My name is Braden Chung, and tonight I'll be representing Senator Carl Rhodes. As a COVID-19 update, a new updated 2024 to 2025 COVID vaccine has been approved for use. COVID shots are now similar to flu shots in that they target the most prevalent strain of COVID. The vaccine is not meant to prevent every symptoms of every COVID variant. Rather, the aim is to protect against severe illnesses, hospitalization, and death. Senator Rhodes' office is currently preparing bills for next session. If you have any bill ideas or any questions, you can let me know right now or call in or email Senator Rhodes' office. And that concludes my board update.
Any questions from the board? Any questions from the community?
Yeah.
Go ahead. Again, you have to state your name. And you said.
Good evening, my name is Thomas Peck. My concern is keep on bringing up, well, Mr. Rhodes, Senator Rhodes, in regards to the COVID shots. I'm not sure if you're cognizant of the study that just came out in regards to children with shots, that they're not as safe as they're saying. There was a study from Europe, 1.7 million children. Of that, we realized of the children that got the shots, that they came down with real myocarditis and other heart-related problems. People that weren't vaccinated did. So I'm just seeing that worth watching. That until they figure out how safe these shots are, that though people have the right to take the shots whenever they want, that they should be used with caution. So there's enough information out there to see that enough people have suffered from the consequences, that it needs to be studied more. It never went through the normal procedures of 3 to 5 years testing because of the emergency process. And they're finding out now that there are some children in serious medical problems. So that's all I'm going to say.
Hi, Member Dog, I just wanted to piggyback off of Mr. Beck's concern. I love that you guys advertise the COVID shots. I mean, you got to do your job, but I would like to recommend or suggest if we can also advertise healthy living. You know, as much as we advertise the COVID shots or the COVID vaccinations, like I encourage gym time, gym use, encourage New Year's resolution. You know, join the facility, same energy. Let's just keep the same energy with eating healthy and keeping your body moving. To do for the vaccinations. That is all. Thank you.
Any questions from, thank you so much. Any questions from the community?
I just wanted to, sorry,
Who wanted to go?
Teresa Schubert had her hand raised online.
it looked like clap.
Oh, that was clapping? Oh, just kidding.
Okay. But, okay, yeah, I just wanted to mention about, I know the concerns about vaccines and the long-term impacts. However, we are experiencing more variants by the day, especially with new, how do I say this, new diseases and new flus such as the avian flu, I forgot what it is. Avian flu, and now there's a few more flus that are being diagnosed. I think there was something regarding the duck flu in Wahia. So I highly recommend people to get their vaccines. I understand if they want to do a little bit more research, take a little bit more time. However, once the disease or once a flu starts happening and they don't have the right amount of vaccines, it can have long-term consequences. And recently, we have been seeing the long-term effects of this thing called long COVID. So this is the effects after COVID-19, which many people have been experiencing asthma attacks, more tiredness, more depression, more anxiety, um, just a lot more. And I remember there was this live stream of this woman who's like, she has a PhD, she's fully vaccinated, but when she got COVID-19 during the vaccine, um, we start to see the long-term effects. Like now she's a bit more tired. She has to take 19 hours sleeps. So it didn't leave her on death, but it definitely left her in a form of disability. So just quick information regarding vaccines, understand the concern, but it is definitely better to have a vaccine than not.
Madam Chair,
Go ahead.
I'm going to switch gears here. Thank you for the comment. Since you're talking about different bills, is there any bills relating to regards to mental health? Seems like we start to see more individuals, in this area. When I was chair, we still had, constant flow. Anything that could be either done to improve or really, proliferate the use of the assisted community treatment along, because when we look at core, even for when the call is usually for an individual that's not violent or anything of that sort. So, is there anything such as the ACT, if you're not familiar with that, the assisted community treatment, which allows for involuntary hospitalization when it is needed? Is that something that the senator is working on this session or for the session?
Don't. Oh, I apologize for interrupting. Don't quote me on this, but I do believe that it is one of Senator Rhodes's priorities this session to address mental health, especially within the homeless community. Again, don't quote me on this, but from my knowledge, I believe that it is one of his biggest priorities coming this session.
Ellen?
Hi, Evelyn Cullen. Tying off of what you had just said about mental health, I think we have to go somewhat deeper than that. Like a lot of people that do experience mental health issues is also experiencing other forms of addiction. More often than not, it's drug related. So if he could author some sort of bill that addresses a second checking point of incoming goods off of the mats and containers, because I think that would help us try and address what might be coming into Hawaii that could possibly really affect the mental health as well as our overall community. So if we stop something like that at the get-go, then it might trickle down the amount of mental health we experience here, because mental health just does not magically appear on its own. It's linked to something else. And in Hawaii, it has a lot to do with drugs. So author some sort of bill that's related to double checking the amount of, illegal substances that's coming through. That's all.
Question. And this is just a bill idea, and this isn't not just pertaining to Senator Rhodes, but also all the other senators and representatives. But Senator Rhodes is really focused on mental health this year. Is it possible if you could introduce a bill regarding the creation of warm lines? They're different from crisis lines. Warm lines are basically like the middle ground between a crisis line and therapy. So if someone just needs to rant or have stress, like they have stress and they just need to let it go, warm lines are a good middle ground. And states have implemented many warm lines, such as New York, California. And this is really good compared to 988 because I have actually encountered many people telling me, should I call 988? I'm not suicidal, I'm just really stressed and I don't know who to talk to. Which, if you call 988, it's kind of like taking up resources just to call rants. Not saying that they're valid rants, but having warm lines pretty much grants that like middle ground. And best yet, warm lines can actually introduce resources such as like, oh, are you feeling suicidal? Are you actually getting hurt? Okay, we'll refer you instead of here, we'll refer you to 988. So it brings them to the right actual resource they need.
Okay, any other questions from the board? Any questions from the community?
Warm lines, WARM lines.
Alrighty. Can you please tell Carl Rhodes, I'll be speaking with him offline.
Yes, of
Things
course.
will not be mentioned online.
All right, yeah, I believe I can do that. Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much and enjoy your holidays. And so Senator Rhodes, thank you for all your hard work and thank you all there for all your hard work. Much appreciated.
All right, thank you. Have a good night.
Thank you. Senator Don Mercado Kim, our representative.
Hi, good evening, Chair Ibanez, board members and members of the community. The November community report was sent, my name is Kathy Nee. I'm representing Senator Kim's office tonight. Senator Kim's November community report was sent to the chair earlier this week. Our office would like to highlight from the report that last month, Barrington High School received an additional $15.5 million in capital infrastructure funds. The release of this additional funds goes towards the $75 million campus redevelopment project and construction of the new gym and music facilities, along with the removal of the old pool, is slated to begin. I don't have an exact date at this time, but I do know that it's with the new funding, it's going to start moving forward. I'm open to any questions or concerns from the community.
Any questions from the board? Evelyn?
Hi, that's great news for Evelyn. That's great news for Farrington High School. Is there anything in the plans, however, in regards to providing a parking structure? They have a beautiful football field, but no parking for the amount of people that is attracted to the area. So, so I'm hoping there's some sort of plan for a parking structure.
As of this time, I don't believe in this phase of the project there is. I can go back and check to see the remaining phases of the project to see if there is a parking structure, and I can report back to the chair about your concern or your question, Ms. Cullen, or board member Cullen. Sorry.
Piggybacking off that, is there anything regarding the abandoned pool at Barrington I don't know if this is you or if this is Senator Lakai.
Sorry, take it down.
Are they taking it down? Are they constructing it into like a gym?
Sorry, can I come in? So from the last time I heard, we saw the blueprints, it's actually a year ago, they are gonna take down the pool and create a parking structure.
Oh,
okay. That was in the, we can access the blueprints, through Barrington, I can send them to you.
Any other questions from the board? Any questions from the community? Hearing none, thank you so much. And thank you to the office of Donna Mercado Kim, all the work that you do. Big mahalo and have a happy holiday season.
Thank you. Same to you as well.
Okay, moving along to Senator Glenn Wakai.
Nope.
Okay. Then Representative Daniel Holt.
Nope.
Representative Shirley Temple.
Yes, sir.
Hi, Shirley.
Aloha, Chair Ibanez, board members, community, Shirley Ann Temple here, newly elected state rep on this November 6th. My area is Kalihi, Kalihi-Kai, Ke'ehi Lagoon, and Hickam Village. First off, I just wanted to thank you all for allowing me the privilege of serving alongside with you. This past year, we've gone through a lot of meaningful work. And with my new position, I hope to continue this partnership with you all. And I really look forward to everyone and the future. So with that being said, I've heard your guys' ideas on legislative updates. If there's any other ideas you'd like to share with me, I'd like to work with you. And in the public, you can contact me at shirleyandtemple@gmail.com or 808-748-9990. I'm working on getting my official office and my contact information, and I'll share that with you. We're going through a transition period right now. What else? And before I conclude my report, just wanted to wish everyone a joyful and peaceful holiday season and a happy new year.
Happy New Year.
So welcoming any feedback.
Any questions from the board?
I have a question.
Ken?
Thank you, congratulations. I brought this up before when I was in her position in terms of a four-way stop that's at Barrington. That's because, when the school lets out, you got about at least 1,000, 1,200 students that are leaving at that time, if not more. So a four-way stop to allow the students to cross so they can get to the different buses and different parts on there. It will take both state and county, and the reason being is because Kalihi Street is technically state, and then the street across is King Street is a county road. So if that's something, just kind of think about it, that'll be helping the safety of the community and the students as well.
Okay, thank you. So just to ensure that I'm hearing correct, four-way stop at Kalihi and King Street where everyone can cross.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it doesn't have to be, the whole time, even like just the times of like when school starts, usually when school ends, I'm sure we can find a way, do that. Just give priority to the students, to get to where they need to go. Yes, vehicles are there, but get the students to where they need to go at different parts. I see students running across trying to catch, because there's only one bus now, for the most part. So they'll try to chase to get that bus, so they're gonna wait longer, almost get hit, all these other things. So just something I think that would be proactive. Very easy.
Thank you so much, Kim.
Hi, Evelyn Cullen, thank you and congratulations. So you're kind of like in the area where I'm from, so I'm pretty sure you know some of the things that we face in our area. I think my concern now in regards to Kalihi Street and Democrat Street is private businesses are using one lane of Kalihi Street as their own personal parking lot to do business. And so that is something that I would like to bring to your attention. I don't know what I need to do other than call HPD. I've been regularly doing that. And then also in regards to all of the dumping of illegal trash in the community, I've been very vigilant in reporting that in a timely manner. Hopefully we can get more sense part of us. All right. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
Can I allow the abandoned vehicle, not the abandoned commercial vehicle, and on the auto shops, using public parking for their private business?
Any other questions? Nielsen?
No, I just want to congratulate you, and anything you need, let us know.
Thank you.
Any questions from the community? Hearing none, thank you so much, Shirley. Happy holidays. Thank you, everyone. And then moving along to Governor Johnson, Representative.
Aloha Chair, this is Dre Kalihi for Governor Green. I'm putting in the chat the link to his newsletter for the month of November. There are some key highlights, but they cover a lot of matters that are across the state, Hawaii in particular, and Maui. And I didn't see any items in the newsletter pertaining specifically to Kalihi. But as a part of the Department of Transportation, I do want to bring up that probably in the month of December, and I understand that the board is recessed for the month of December, we will be publishing a draft environmental assessment for the relocation of our maintenance base yard from Sand Island Access Road to Oiki Street. It's the former Triple F warehouse property that abuts the new Kapalama Container Terminal and the Department of Agriculture facility. So we have done some pre-consultation, and we did hear from Member Cullen through that process. But I think in January, if we may ask for time on the neighborhood board agenda to go through some of the details of that project that are in the draft environmental assessment. And I also did get a follow-up email from Member Young asking about the grants for community gardens at Pu'ahale School, and still working with DOE on a response on that.
Okay, thank you so much, Dre. Any questions from the board?
Hi, Dre. This is Board Member Cullen. So you said something about in December you guys will be drafting some information in regards to the relocation. Is there a way where I could at least get to see that prior to January?
Sure. So the Office of Planning has 2 dates per month that they'll release environmental assessments and other similar documents, and it's the 8th and the 23rd of the month. So I anticipate that either on December 8th or December 23rd, our draft EA for that project will be released. And if we can have time on the January board meeting agenda, we'd like to do a presentation. But as soon as that report is released and there's a public link, I'm happy to send that to you so you can have access to the draft environmental assessment.
Can you send it to Miguel and then he can find it?
Yes, of course.
And
I don't know where to ask this, but I know that this is under the state. Could you give me the process of what happens when I call 988? So if I call 988, like, does it go to like a call center first, and then does it go to a counselor next, and then a counselor at HMSA, or not HMSA, at Queens or Kalihi-Pālama? I just want to see how that process works.
I am not familiar with that process, but happy to do some research. And then I understand that it is the Suicide and Crisis Lifeline, and it's in a service that you can call 24 hours, but I don't know how those calls are routed. So if I can have the opportunity to go research that and get back to you, and we won't have to wait till the January meeting. As soon as I get an update, I can email it to your chair or to Mr. Mogwai and have that information distributed.
Evelyn?
Hi, Evelyn again, real quick. There's some road construction going on Wiki Street. I don't think we've had anybody talk about what's going on there. And then also if and when you guys do relocate, can you guys be the police of that area in terms of all the rubbish and stuff, you know, like community cleanup? If you guys can take that as a responsibility, because that would help me greatly without having to go around the community and taking pictures and putting it on 311.
Sure. So just two things in response. So if there's construction on Awiki is currently owned and controlled by the City and County of Honolulu. So I would encourage Mr. Courtney to maybe either check with DDC or maybe DFM if there are updates needed on any construction on Awiki Street. And then when our base yard is relocated to Awiki, we'll have greater presence. So happy to help, I guess, just having that section of Awiki Street like more activated, and maybe detract illegal dumping and some of the other activities that you've reported. And then in addition to that, the deputy sheriffs who patrol the harbor will also be patrolling that area once we have our base yard there. Like they patrol it now because we do own that portion of road number 2 that is alongside that property, but once we'll have like greater presence there, we expect the presence of our deputy sheriffs to also increase.
Okay, that leads me to another question in regards to the sheriff. Are they policing like the streets in between, like Mary Street, HOE Street, Silver Street, Kahai Street? Because I'd like to know.
So the deputy sheriffs who are part of the Department of Law Enforcement, which is a new state agency that are assigned to the harbor areas, their regular, I'm going to say, quote, patrol is the harbor properties. So it's where Young Brothers operates, it's where Kapalama Container Terminal is, and our properties in that area. However, if on their way from, their duty station to patrol those areas, they traverse the streets that you named, if they see, something that needs law enforcement attention, they will respond. But those streets that you have named are not part of their regular patrol.
Yeah, because I had an incident where he came through the street, made it his business to get out and put his hand and his phone over my son-in-law's truck, where he had his e-bike that he uses for his job as a Dillingham Ranch manager to manage the animals there, and take a picture, and then proceeded to tell him all kinds of things. And I said, this isn't your jurisdiction to do so. So that's why I'm bringing it up.
Okay, I am happy to bring this up with my counterparts at the Department of Law Enforcement. I mean, they are commissioned law enforcement officers. And in some cases, when like a 911 call is made, if a deputy sheriff is closest to the area, they may be dispatched to the incident first. But if the question, which I think I'm hearing, is on the clarification of the jurisdiction, that is something that we can raise to DLE and have a response provided at a future meeting.
Yeah, and then also the waterfront businesses and the traffic that still exists on Nimitz from like Young Brothers, since you mentioned Young Brothers. Like the tractor trailers is still happening, like. That's all. I'm sure you know about everything else. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much.
Thank you, Madam Chair. So my thing was in regards to, because this is at a state level, though it just affected Oahu, was when it came to the dispatcher and all the systems going down, redundancy, whatnot. And I just wanted to more clarification on this. And you probably don't know the answer to this, but when it came to the request of using some of the things that Haima had for the county, and Haima was saying that that's, outside the realm of what that equipment is used for. It's more internal rather than what would be used, in case of an emergency or so, just in addition to the redundancy systems. So I just wanted to, that's something I think worth at a governor's level we're looking into, because we can expect more of these types of things as it goes on. We've seen more intrusions when it comes to from cyber attacks and other things and whatnot. This definitely counts as, when you talk about hardening infrastructure, is what happens if we do lose. For a while they were just using pen and paper going back and forth, and this is just Oahu, just the city county of Honolulu. But how and where can Haima help with that? And more yeses and agile thinking rather than just, we can't do this because that's available. Thank you.
Thank you for that. And I'm happy to get in touch with Administrator Barros as well as the governor's office to get a response to that question.
Hi, Board Member Cullen again. Is there anything that the governor or the department heads are preparing themselves for, or what's to come in terms of exchanging of leadership, just to protect our state in and of itself, where, say, for instance, we may be facing some huge federal support in terms of money flowing down to our state level? Is the state having discussions and prepping for something like that? I mean, you don't have to answer. I just want to plant that seed.
I can speak for the Department of Transportation. We are having very early discussions with members of our congressional delegation, as well as our, federal counterparts at the U.S. Department of Transportation, just to, I think, project and plan for changes that we anticipate with the change in administration. Nothing concrete yet. It's still early, right? The administration hasn't started, but we are planning. But that, again, I just want to reiterate, is for the Department of Transportation. I am not aware of other similar conversations, but happy to check in with the governor's office and get a response to that question also.
Thank you.
Any questions from the community?
Yeah.
No? No. Thank you so much, Dre. Please
Thank you.
extend all the happy holidays to Governor Josh Green, the staff, yourself. Thank you for a whole year of hard work. We are on recess next month, so happy holidays to everyone there.
Thank you so much. Happy Thanksgiving and Merry Christmas. Take care. Aloha.
Aloha. Okay, we're moving on to committee reports. Any reports from safety, education, or health? Go ahead.
Safety, still vigilant. The vigilante's on the move every time when I'm in my vehicle. So I do bring things to the attention in regards to our area. And with the help of my shoulder partner here, we've been doing our part to keep us in the know, safe.
Excellent.
Peaceful.
And peaceful.
Yeah.
Very good, very good. Thank you for all your hard work. Education?
For health, I just want to put it out on the record because I know that it's going to be a tough, this month was a very tough month for many, and the Christmas time or holiday time for anyone, it's also going to be tough. So I just wanted to give out some resources. Call 988 if you are feeling unable to go out to do any daily tasks, caring for personal hygiene, changing clothes, isolating yourself, sudden mood swings, restlessness, pacing, paranoia, violent or abusive behavior towards oneself or others, or suicidal thoughts and behaviors. Call 911 if you have a medical emergency or feel like you're in immediate danger. And remember to give specific things about yourself, like for example, if you have a disability or if you're a person of color, please give that information to 911 so first responders know how to respond correctly. For just Department of Health, available 24/7 on Oahu, you can call 808-832-3100 on the neighbor islands. You can call toll-free at 1-800-753-6879. That is for suicide hotlines. Crisis line, if you want to text someone 24/7. You can text Aloha to 741-741. And if you're on the US continent, text home. For the suicide prevention lifeline, you can call or talk at 1-800-273, sorry, and then 8255. For veterans, it is 1-800-273-8255. And they are also providing any services for COVID-19, Native American youth, LGBTQI+, anyone's deaf or hard of hearing, lost survivors, attempt survivors, and more. And Trevor Project, you can call or text at 1-866-488-7386. And the last one is SAMHSA Disaster Distress Helpline that is open 24/7, 1-800-985-5990. Or you can text talk with us to 6674946. Sorry, let me restart again. 66746. Okay, that's it. That's all my stuff.
Okay, piggyback off that, with health, health related. So, and with those resources, they're great. Also wanted to let everyone know that, you know, if you guys can't afford a gym membership, because I am a full supporter of getting active. Active and Fit Direct is actually a great resource you can use with your insurance company. If you can't afford a gym membership, they give discounts, and it's a great time to start before the holidays. And that's also just letting you know, sunlight and exercise keeps the depression away. Letting everyone know. So yeah, please utilize that Active and Fit Direct. You can check if you're eligible.
Oh, sorry, one more thing. This is my last thing. Warm lines, as I mentioned, warm lines are just a way to like find resources or just rent to someone. Even though we don't have one here in Hawaii, it is available in New York or California. So you can look if there are warm lines in other states and you can actually text those warm lines. But be aware of what states warm lines are. So for example, in New York, they have a better LGBTQI+, more accepting equality, justice kind of thing. So if you're LGBTQI+ and identifying, it is better if you text them compared to, let's say, just an example.
Holiday season is a great time for family, friends, and fun. And all of that being said, sometimes it wears down and the best person's psyche in the best situations. So with all of those resources, as there are many, I am a probation officer and I deal with the worst of the worst cases in the felony courts. And of which is the best case scenarios, and the best case of us and from us and in the community. Sometimes we suffer silently in mental illness and other things that may be upon us, such as affordability, affordable housing, rising cost of living, and other stresses that we have gone through throughout this entire year. So with all the resources that we have, if at your fingertips, the simplest thing that you can do is call 911, let them know that you're having a psychiatric emergency or you need someone to talk to. Please do not hesitate to reach out. Everyone deserves someone to speak to. Okay, with that being said, announcements, the next Kalihi-Pālama Neighborhood Board, that's Community Resources and Educational Institutions, today in Honolulu Crisis Outreach Response and Engagement, which is CORE. The program can be found online. If you want to join CORE, email honolulucore.or at honolulu.gov or call 808-768-2673. CORE provides services to Oahu's unsheltered population. CORE responds to crisis calls from within the community that are nonviolent and do not require emergent medical assistance. Again, if need be, please call 911. Announcements, the next Kalihi-Pālama Neighborhood Board number 15 meeting is scheduled to be on Wednesday, January 15th, 2025 at 7 p.m. The Kalihi-Pālama Neighborhood Board will recess in December for this meeting. Have a joyous holiday season. The Kalihi-Pālama Neighborhood Board number can be seen on Olelo, channel 49, or at www.olelo.org.
Oh, before we end, parade.
Oh, sorry, let's go ahead. Teresa Schubert's online as well, to speak on behalf of KV Grid.
I'll have, our, my name is Dana Yap of the business, Nicole Inez, who's gonna be, part, and she's been helping us plan the parade as well as being a student. Very, so. This is the second year since COVID that we're bringing it back. And after going through what you guys were talking about, refreshing part, hopefully this will be a refreshing part for the end of the year, close up the year. And so we're starting parade again from Kalihi and Church, down King Street, up off Haley, back to School Street, and ending at Kapalama School for paid. Because of all of the hard stuff and all of the things that were going on, we couldn't go that way. Yeah. So this past week, went around and I went down Mokuwea Street, and some of the people asked what happened. It's because the heart down.
Yeah.
And then she said that was the thing her church did every year. They had the kids sleep over in the church and plan that event. So I'll have Nicole introduce herself as well as telling some of the things that could be happening at the parade.
Hi, everyone. My name is Branch High School. I'm also the reporting secretary on the YC Student Council board. So I am part of the board that represents 170,000 public high school students. So as Mr. Yap has mentioned, I am Barrington's homecoming queen. So I am going to be marching in the parade. But I've also been working backstage within logistics and planning more so on biographies and the layout of the entire parade. Regarding the Paina, like Mr. Yap has mentioned, due to the parade having a shorter route compared to previous years, we have included a Paina at the Kapalama Elementary School, so that it's a way for marchers and one around the community to school to meet Santa. And it's a free event, so it would be like cookie making, face painting, different vendors. But further information can be found on KVA socials on Instagram, which is also a social media platform that I'm helping manage.
Yes. Dina, you signed up. Sure.
I'll be in the back handing out candy to send you. But yeah, hopefully all of you can make it, and we did what Joseph requested.
Thank you. I did request that our neighborhood board pairs up with the Valley Neighborhood Board and pairs up with Barrington's. I'm not running back and forth this year, and it's shorter route. Thank you so much.
All right.
Look forward to seeing you.
Oh, thank you very much. There's questions about what time we show up and all that.
Later on tonight, I'll be sure to email the informative slides that were mentioned or brought up on Monday, this previous Monday at the informative meeting at Kalihi Church. But some basic information is that the call time will be 4 and participants are expected to be at the Kalihi Church at 4:30. So the entire organization can wear whatever you want, but it is recommended to wear something festive like red shirts or whatnot. But you're more than encouraged to have comfortable shoes, a backpack, and an umbrella to bring along with you.
And also schools are participating as well, right?
Yeah.
So here's what we're doing. We're gonna wear the
There's a
other
flyer with this information. Is this going to be available online?
If I have this information.
So website you said? AV something?
The Instagram is And then the official website is at the bottom of the flyer.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks for having
Thank you.
See that.
Any other
Oh,
announcements?
Schubert texted something, parking is very limited.
Oh,
Yeah.
Basically stranding.
I'm sorry, can we have that conversation on the side?
Yes.
To put
Thank
the
you so
books.
much.
Oh.
Any other announcements online or any questions online?
I have an announcement.
Okay.
The Oahu Filipino Community Council will have a cleanup on Kalihi Street on November 23rd. It starts from 8 o'clock. If you'd like more information, please give me a call, 808-748-9990. Basically, they're gonna clean up Kalihi Street from Nimitz to Bishop Museum.
Yes.
Any other announcements?
Yep.
No, Kalihi-Pālama Neighborhood Board 51 Portage, Timothy and Olelo, County 49, or at www.olelo.org/live at the following times, first Monday of each month at 9 p.m. and second and fourth Thursday of each month at 11 a.m. Meeting adjourned.
Thank you.